Amid cash crunch, Buhari seeks 2 billion naira for Aso Rock vehicles. The State House Permanent Secretary, Tijani Umar, said that next year's elections would necessitate frequent travels and thus the need to replace the presidential vehicles. Hello everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on the time of day we may be reaching you. Thank you for joining us once again on the channel where we bring you nothing but authentic and verified news happenings around the country. Now, if you're joining us for the very first time, please do well to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. To all of our existing subscribers, we'd like to say thank you for your support so far. Please don't forget to give us a thumbs up on our posts as they come your way. Now, into the details of today's report, we see that amid the cash crunch that we're facing right now in Nigeria, the President Muhammadu Buhari is seeking 2 billion naira for Aso Rock vehicles. The details in full. President Muhammadu Buhari is planning to spend 1.96 billion naira on new vehicles in the presidential villa amid a deepening economic crisis and cash crunch that has seen the government admit to owing contractors nearly 1 trillion naira. The State House Permanent Secretary, Tijani Umar, said that next year's elections would necessitate frequent travels and thus the need to replace the presidential vehicles. Nigeria's electoral law prohibits using state apparatus in any party's advantage. The vehicles in the presidential villa are due for a replacement, Mr. Umar said on Thursday while defending next year's budget proposals before the Senate Committee on Federal Character and Intergovernmental Affairs. This has resulted in frequent breakdowns and an unsustainable expenditure on repairs and replacement of parts, Mr. Umar declared. The woofing sum is required to purchase what Mr. Umar described as operational vehicles, some of which are very expensive. He said some of these vehicles would be used for travel as the country slipped into an electioneering mode. Mr. Umar is however worried that the 1.96 billion would still be inadequate to meet existing requirements, claiming that the administration was frugal enough despite budgeting such a woeful amount on vehicles amid deepening economic crisis. 2023 is an election year, which entails frequent travels with associated costs as well as the replacement of vehicles by the incoming administration, he said. The 1.96 billion naira earmarks for the Aso Rock's vehicles replacement is part of the 2023 State House budget proposal. Like Mr. Umar, several heads of ministries and agencies have lamented the rigorous cuts in the 2023 budget by the Scrutinizing National Assembly Committee. Mr. Umar has argued that the 2023 budget proposal of 21.1 billion naira is comparatively lower than the 2022 appropriation of 40.1 billion by 19.01%. He also said that the commitment to facilities in the State House will take 65% of the total appropriation, noting that the sum of 7.2 billion naira has been proposed for the year 2023 as against the 7.76 billion in 2022. However, the Buhari-led administration is proposing to spend nearly 2 billion naira to replace the Aso Rock vehicles at a time that Nigerians are lamenting the rising cost of living and economic hardship. Earlier this year, The Nigerian Employers Consultative Association (NECA) warned that Nigeria's economy was on the brink of collapse. The association noted that soaring inflation, energy costs, and dwindling naira value against foreign currencies were battering the nation's economy. The Director General of the association, Wale Oyerinde, added that the economy was crumbling due to Nigeria's poor aviation sector, stuttering education system, rising debt, depleting foreign reserves, and rising fuel subsidy expenses. In August, the Minister of Labour and Employment, Chris Ngige, confessed that Nigeria was broke, adding that the government does not have money to prosecute capital projects in the coming year. As you can see, the dollar that has been hovering around 500 and 600 naira is now above 700 naira, he said. The truth is, there is no money anywhere. The money that the FAAC, the Federation Account Allocation Committee, has been sharing is money from taxes, customs, and other revenue-generating agencies. Now that is the details of this report, and we see that the State House needs about 2 billion naira for them to change the presidential vehicles, as they said. Now, this brings us to the question, why do they need to change the vehicles? Are the vehicles actually so bad that they cannot be still used next year? Amid all the crises that we're facing in Nigeria now, the rising cost of living, the economic decline, economic crisis, our economy is actually dwindling, and the federal government needs 2 billion naira to buy presidential vehicles, as they say. And like the State House Secretary is saying, he says they need it for the frequent travels. Now, how do the frequent travels that they will be taking, undergoing during the electioneering, how does it affect us as Nigerians? Why do you have to now eat into the budget that is not even already enough to just buy vehicles for the presidential villa? You see, and these politicians, they are just so wicked and callous, very wicked and callous. Like, we are facing a real-time trouble in Nigeria right now, and the only thing they're actually thinking about right now is how they want to change their vehicles. And then these ones they are going to change, some people are just going to take it off, and it's just going to go to some people's personal entourage. I really don't understand how these politicians are thinking. I think it's high time we as Nigerians need to start calling out our leaders. We need to start calling them out for the various insensitive things they do. We are suffering in this country, and all the presidency can think of is how they need 2 billion naira to change vehicles. Wow, it just beats us how these people think. Well, that is it on the details. Please drop your comments in the comment section. We like to hear from you. Well, until we come your way next time with more details, do stay safe. Bye-bye.